Ready?
Good. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Excellent. I would like to call to order the local planning agency meeting on September 3rd, 2024 at 5:30 PM. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilman Werner,
Here.
Councilman Martinez,
Present.
Councilwoman Leonard,
Present.
Vice Mayor Langowski,
Present.
Mayor O'Connor.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Please stand and join me for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
seated. Please. Do you have any additions, deletions, or modification to the agenda? If not, may I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Vice Mayor Langowski, seconded by Councilwoman Leonard. Roll call. Councilman Werner,
Aye.
Councilman Martinez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Leonard,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Langowski,
Yes.
Mayor O'Connor.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Sitting as the local planning agency, we have an ordinance 2024-03, parking regulations, amending section 7 entitled recreational vehicles, trailers, and watercraft. Planning and zoning, may we have your presentation, please?
Yes, thank you. Good evening, Mayor, council members. Before you is the city initiated ordinance for Chapter A amendment. This is in regards to including some provisions to parking in the right of ways and also deleting some language per state statutes. So we are adding the following language in Chapter 8 in regards to storage and recreational vehicles. We are providing a definition for trailers. Should mean any vehicle with or without motive power designed for carrying persons and property and for being drawn by a motor vehicle. A watercraft should be stored in fully enclosed garage facility. Parking's in right of way. The parking, standing, or stopping of watercraft, RVs, swamp buggies, bus, truck with gross vehicle weight rating in excess of 10,000 pounds or rated over 1 ton or height in excess of 7 feet, including any load, bed, or box, or length in excess of 22 feet, truck, trailer, semi-trailer, pull trailer, step van, commercial vehicle, recreational vehicle, or construction of industrial equipment for a period exceeding 1 hour in 24-hour periods prohibited in all public streets, all alleys and rights of way therewith located within the city. The provision should not apply to motor vehicles which are temporarily parked for the purpose of loading and unloading materials or equipment or making service calls. However, the duration of such temporary parking should not exceed 4 hours in any 24-hour period. B, the provisions should not apply to motor vehicles which have become disabled. However, the duration of such temporary parking should not exceed 4 hours, after which the vehicle must be removed, but towing if necessary, regardless of nature of the emergency. C, the parking of non-prohibited vehicles shall be done in a safe manner so as to not cause hazards such as encroachment on sidewalks, obstruction of visibility of motorists utilizing the roadway, or in general affecting the ability of motorists to safely use the roadway. The parking of non-prohibited vehicles shall not obstruct driveways or impede the ability of the abutting property owner to maintain their right-of-way strip. D, no person shall park any vehicle upon any right-of-way for the purpose of advertising any place of business or service, displaying the vehicle for sale, repairing the vehicle except repairs necessary for meeting an emergency, or selling merchandise from the vehicle except when authorized or licensed under the code or the ordinances of the city. E, parking on swells. It should be unlawful to stop, park, or drive a motor vehicle upon an unpaved portion of the street right away or swell area within the city. We're also deleting language in the code pursuant to Florida Statute 366.94 regarding electric vehicle charging. This regulation of electric vehicle charging station is preempted by the state, I should say. A local government entity may not enact or enforce an ordinance or regulation related to electric vehicle charging stations. Therefore, we are deleting all the section for electric vehicle charging stations requirement. And also we are adding a parking calculation to commercial indoor recreation. We did not have that before, so we're adding that to be one space per 360 square feet gross floor area. And that concludes all the amendments for chapter 8. If you have to answer any questions.
I just have a couple questions.
Sure.
Specifically the advertising on trailers. Is that something that could a waiver be applied for? Like if a business is having a grand opening and they wanted to park their Mission Barbecue or a huge, tractor, whatever it is, their military
Oh,
vehicle, just for promotional, reasons. Is that something that we could allow for waiver? That might be a question for legal. Or does the ordinance prohibit it?
The ordinance doesn't embrace any waiver procedure.
I think we need to amend that.
Were you talking about any commercial vehicle that has advertising on it?
No, I'm talking about specifically for promotional. So like I just went to that new,
Mission.
the one next to Mission that they were raving about,
The muffin
the
place.
muffin place. And there's a Mission Barbecue right next to it that's about to open. And they've got a big Humvee military vehicle
Yeah.
advertising
Which is the
Mission
signature.
Barbecue.
And it's always at every location. I saw it in.
Right.
But is it in a parking lot or is it in a right of way?
No, it's right in their parking space.
I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, DJ, but I believe that would fall under the special events portion of our code.
Yeah.
For grand openings and stuff like that, it would be permitted under that on their property as part of their grand opening and part of the special
I
event.
just don't want to limit the authority of this body. There needs to be an avenue to where we could allow something if we wanted to.
But this is specifically to rights of way. You
Right.
wouldn't want them parking on the rights of way anywhere for any of that type purpose. If it's on their property, it's a
We
different.
would, but we don't know until we reach that. Please.
Yeah, I think that could be addressed in the temporary signage section of the
Okay.
code. We are currently also looking at that chapter 6 signage that we are amending. So that's something that the board wants to.
I mean, as long as there's an avenue in the future that doesn't make us go back and rewrite an entire code. If it's something we could add in simply now, or, at the behest of the council or whatever, is there some language we can add in?
Right.
Right, or
I think it's already, I think what you're referring to is probably already covered in the flexibility of our existing codes. So I don't think we need to address it specifically. It would be under the grand opening special events type scenario that anybody could have on any of their commercial properties.
But for clarity's sake, that would have to be a temporary situation.
Of
Correct.
course.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not
You couldn't
advocating.
put it there all the time.
No, definitely not. But even Chick-fil-A, for instance, has a big, massive Chick-fil-A thing that they bring out every, special events and so on and so
Right.
forth. I just want us to have the ability to allow that.
I believe we
if
already,
wanted to.
I believe we already addressed it in our special events and stuff in our other code.
So just as another point, Culver's is a restaurant that has a vehicle parked on a mound
Mhm.
in front of their restaurant. So would that also, because it's not part of a grand opening, I think it's part of their
That-
signature brand.
But that would not be permitted because it's also not in a parking lot. It's on a hill at the side of the street, so that would
Correct.
not be permitted. Now, if they had it in their parking lot as part of their special event for a limited period of time, that would be approved, but not as an ongoing, long-term object.
Okay.
I believe we've already addressed it very clear. And I believe we also addressed the fact that, for example, if Chick-fil-A has a trailer or a vehicle that they have that's part of their business where they go out and cater, that vehicle can be on their property as a normal routine. So it can be parked in their parking lot as a normal routine as part of their business, because that's part of their operations. They can have that. We've already addressed that in our current code, those kind of things. I have one question, Mr. Mayor.
Sure.
Are we taking out other than pole trailer?
Yes, so that was a little different from your package. We are removing the language that pool trailers were exempt.
What section? Which section?
Other than a pole trailer,
Section 2.
it's section 2, storage.
Can you explain what a pole trailer is?
So pole trailers are the trailers that bring utility poles and things like that.
Oh,
Right.
And just to be cleaner language, we just removed that section or just a little couple words. That's how pole trailers works. And
So you're proposing to delete the reference to pole trailers, they're not going to be exempt.
right.
Yeah. I have no question.
I had a question on C.
Let's grab Councilman Warner first. He's been waiting patiently.
Yeah, on section 6, the parking, standing, or stopping of a watercraft on the public right of way. Do you mean to say a watercraft on a trailer or watercraft that just happened to come up out of the water, land on the street?
Good question.
And
Yeah.
I would assume it'd be anyone.
should it
On a
say
trailer or
Yeah,
otherwise.
I agree. Should it say and or on a trailer? But,
Well,
I mean, you do say trailer later on, but it's, someone might try to squeeze it through the cracks.
Waterfront.
Does that make sense?
Good catch.
so. Does anybody else have any more questions?
I had a question on C after you take your notes.
Yes, sir.
On C, we don't want them to park on the vehicle right of way or sidewalk impeding the right of way. What about the bike lanes?
So bike lanes are part of the right of way.
mhm.
Okay,
So that.
I wasn't sure if I needed specific language for the bike lane itself.
There is
It's within the right of way.
Right of way strip.
What's that?
It's right of way encompasses everything.
Okay,
I think that's a good suggestion
But we can add that language.
can add-
to be clear.
Mhm.
to eliminate any debate.
Right.
Would there be any issue or provision under like a emergency management situation where, they might need to park FPL electrical trailers on the swales in order to repair items or?
That's already in their franchise and stuff, that they can utilize the right of way to do whatever they have to do for their facilities.
So this,
They're right.
we're covered.
Yeah.
They have easements.
Okay.
They have easements and they're in their easement also. My experience typically, if you're into a natural disaster, most of your basic codes go to the side. You go to getting it up and operational first.
To enforcement at that point.
Correct.
We're the ones enforcing anyways.
Right.
Okay. Good. There's no more discussion. I'd love a motion.
Is it public hearing?
No, this is for recommendation to the council. This is. Council meeting.
The public hearing.
That's it. The council meeting, it'll be a public hearing. The LPR, I don't
This
believe.
is the last reading meeting.
I mean, we can open it up for public
I'm
comment. I have no problem, but I
If you
don't.
would follow what it says.
If you would, sir, just open the
Sure.
item up for a public hearing.
Yeah, let's
Any
open it up
comments?
for public hearing. Is any,
I received no public comment cards, Mayor.
okay. Gonna close the public hearing. And if there's no further discussion,
I'll move approval of ordinance 2024-03, first reading. Chapter 8 entitled Parking Regulations, amending section 7, entitled Recreation Vehicle Trailers and Watercraft.
I believe it needs to be a
Recommendation.
recommendation to adopt.
to the council.
That's the motion to recommendation to adopt.
Second,
We have a motion by Councilman Werner, seconded by Councilwoman Leonard. Roll call, Councilman Martinez,
yes.
Councilwoman Leonard,
yes.
Vice Mayor Langowski,
Yes.
Mayor O'Connor,
Yes.
Councilman Werner.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Yeah, 'cause
I understand. You were interested.
we're gonna
hopefully next.
All right,
We have a 15-minute recess.
Adjourn.
let's go ahead and adjourn at 5:45 PM.